I bust through like I'm dinos. My eyes blue and my wave cold. Magician never reveals a secret, but it's dark like when your eyes close. You need a heart, but you'll switch. Play your cards that you deal with. I'm a terror, I'm flipping my subs, so show me love and reset like L. I say, yo, this is Cam from the Yugi-Flow, and today I have 5 takes that you're probably not going to agree with. I'm okay with it. I understand it. I feel it. This is just how I feel. I am a returning player. I haven't played since high school. I'm almost 30. You could probably do the math at 29. But there's just some things in this community that I just don't agree with. And it seems like I'm the minority in the situation. I mean, been a minority before, so I'm fine being a minority again. So let's get into it. Thing number 1, meta versus casual. I personally love playing meta decks. Doesn't mean I don't love my spirit charmers too. So I feel like I'm on both sides, but very honestly, I'm more of a meta player than anything. One thing I hear the most is casual decks are more fun and meta decks take less skill, and I find both of those untrue. My main deck is dinos. I love dinos. It's very fun to me. The people I play against, if I play against another meta player, they're having just as much fun as I am. If I'm playing against a non-meta casual player, yeah, it's harder for them because the deck is difficult to deal with. It's one of the best decks in the game. So I understand their frustrations, but at the same period of time, I'm still having fun. So different comic book stores that have bring your fun decks today and no meta, only fun decks. And it doesn't make sense to me because fun is defined by how I feel. And I feel like I'm having fun during those times. Now, on the opposite side, I will say it is very difficult to play a deck that you feel took creativity and no one else plays just for my conductor to flip you face down. And everything you've done meant nothing. I understand that. I feel it. I think just like how I'm entitled to my opinion of wanting to play that deck, you're entitled to your opinion of not wanting to have to play against meta decks. I understand that completely. I think that meta players can be a little bit more understandable for those who don't feel that way. Every non-meta player it doesn't mean that they don't understand the rules of the game. They just don't want to play a meta deck. And every casual player, it's okay if you have meta cards in your casual deck. It doesn't change the fact that the same creativity that you're looking for, you still can have. And I think as long as we find a balance with that, it's fine. But it feels now that that's not the case. It's a almost Democrat-Republican line of, are you a meta player or a casual player? And honestly, I just love to play. So, I'll run dinos today. Arm Dragon tomorrow. I feel like it just depends on how I feel. Thing number 2, the community. Very honestly, I thought the comic book community was going to be a problem, but some of the coolest people I've ever came across are in the comic book stores. That doesn't mean every comic book store. Here in Sacramento, a comic book store on Truxell and Atomas, love them. Favorite people. I can spend hours in there. They answer every question I have. They're so knowledgeable. But then there's some other stores where I walk in and I don't get good service and I'm asking questions and I'm being treated with one-word answers, and that kind of divide in the comic book community and specifically in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I know it's not a comic book of what I'm playing. It's a comic book, but anyway, either way. In the Yu-Gi-Oh card game community, it seems like it's a divide of how the community treats you. I can be playing Dueling Book and have the most respectful match with somebody of they're respectful, I'm respectful, it's a great match, and then the very next match, toxic person. Here they go. In the comic book store, go to a comic book store and everybody's friendly. Everyone's telling you, you ask a question, you have 4 people walk up and tell you their answer and no one's disrespectful. Then you go to another comic book store and it's just nothing. You ask a question and it's just, you might as well not have asked. So I think the community can be a lot better, especially at returning and new players. Like I said, I'm almost 30, and I feel like sometimes I'm looked at as, oh, you're too old. You should already know that. It's like, I haven't played. I don't know that. I had to learn. I didn't know what links were. I didn't know what synchros were. I didn't know what XYZ summons was. The material, not on the field. On the field, is it there? The Shin send it to the bandage zone? It goes to the graveyard. Huh? That was a lot for me. Shin in general. Virtual World, it felt like I was in school again, learning like rocket science. It was crazy. It's one of my favorite decks now, though. It takes time, and you have to be patient with people. And the community doesn't always do the best job with that, but if you find somewhere where they do, it's great. Next on the list, Banlist. I feel the ban list should only be used for cards that are almost impossible to beat. As a Virtual World player, VFD needed to go. I mean, Nibiru couldn't stop it. You can't, I mean, what can you do? All I'm doing is discarding a card, can't attack, can't use monster effects. That is a bannable card. Zexal? I've only played against Zexal online, and no time playing Zexal did Zexal come on the field, and it was fair. And I played Dinos, which leads me to my next point. Stop asking for these random cards to be banned. Why should Mist be banned? Tell me in the comments, why should Mist be banned? Because for one main phase, my dinosaurs aren't affected by activated card effects. For one main phase. That means evenly matched hits me. Anything during the battle phase hits me. And if I have one Misk in hand, you can just wait until the second main phase and hit me? Is it because I can chain Misk? Okay, called by. Like, Misk isn't a broken card. It's just a good card. And I think that's a different situation. When we're thinking of things like LP. Granted, I know because Dragon Links can play through it, LP is not as important as it was before, but it's just a card. It doesn't stop you from doing anything. You can play around it. I've beaten Dragon Links. You can beat them with their full board. It's just hard because they're the best deck right now. And as long as power creeping happens and the meta changes, you're going to have situations where there is a better deck there. And they're gonna have better cards, and it's just gonna be good. But it doesn't mean that it needs to be a ban because the deck is good. Maybe it just needs to be more support for other decks to play around those type of things. When you think about, like I said, Mist, even Dragoon. I know, everybody hates Dragoon, I get it. But for typical Dragoon packages outside of Virtual World, where you can't even use the effect of pop monsters, you have to play a Breaky Dark Magician, you have to play a Breaky Red Eyes, and you have to play the spell card. And if you get any of those in your hand, you're at a disadvantage. All it takes for Dragoon is one out. Just, bait it. It's been baited. I've been baited. I'm not saying like I'm just this magical player who gets it all, but like with my Dragoon, I've messed up and it was taken advantage of. Talents, just takes it, just takes it. It's yours now. You can have it for the moment. It's not as good as people feel it is. And to be banned, I think it needs to be unfair. And a really good card and an unfair card, different. Why is Zeus unfair? It's good, but why is it unfair? There's other cards just as good. And I think as long as you understand that, we'll be fine. Next. I'm wrong for what I'm about to say. I'm okay with that. You be okay? I'm okay. I'm wrong. I don't believe in only buying singles. I'm sorry. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me. It's the most efficient way to get what you want. But it's not, to me, the funnest way to get what you want. I love buying packs. And I love looking for certain things in those packs. If I happen to get this Starlight Rare card, great. If I happen to get this 25-cent, this is the best I got card, sucks. But that moment before you open the pack, there's nothing better than that. Now, if you are specifically just trying to, build a certain deck right now, you need this card, singles, right? But for the thrill of it, I like opening packs. So my cousin started at the same time that I started getting back into the game, and we both bought Blazing Vortex packs, or boxes, sorry. And as we all know, Blazing Vortex is pretty trash of a set. Even as a new player coming back, yeah, I realized it was pretty bad. But here's the thing, I pulled an Underworld Goddess, which I use all the time. He, way luckier than me, pulled a Starlight Rare pot and another pot. I wasn't gonna buy the Starlight Rare. I wasn't gonna buy the other pot. And as good as the pots are, pulling one and pulling a Starlight Rare, you're not getting that from buying singles. You don't get the same feel of like, I did it from buying singles. You know it's coming, and it's coming on this day, and you know that, and you're expecting it, and if it comes early, you're happy, but you've already in your mind said it's coming. You've already put it in your deck in your mind. It's different than pulling it. It's different. To me, though. And the last thing that I would say is the game is hard to learn. I don't think it's hard to learn. I think it's hard to be good at it. And I think those are two different things. Learning the game itself, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's not rocket science, Like, the hardest thing to learn is probably chain command and chain blocks and spell speeds, like those type of things. But if you learn as you go, they become pretty easy. A lot of learning in this game is going to be like play against friends and family and whoever else plays and make mistakes while you play. And this is where the community thing comes in, because if you have no friends or family who plays this, you have to learn in the community. Meaning people have to be patient and understanding that you don't know how to play and you have to learn somewhere. So I think that thinking that this game is hard to learn is going to put you in a situation to where it's going to be hard to learn. If you just relax and close your eyes and just breathe and woosah your way through the irritating parts, the parts that make you once per turn is only on your turn unless it says on your opponent's turn, or if it's a quick effect, or you can use spell speed 2 spells during the draw phase, and it's like you can use spell speed 2 like spells during the draw phase. What? Yeah, by the way, if you didn't know that, you can do some stuff during the draw phase. A lot of people, they misuse their draw phase. They just draw and go to standby. You don't have to, because your opponent can't react. It's not important. All I can tell you is, as long as you're willing to have fun and just accept of the kind of player you want to be is going to lead to certain things. It's an amazing game. I'm happy I came back, and I'm excited to get better and to lose so I can win, and then lose so I can win more. I'm a weird person. Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. Anyway, those are 5 things that you probably aren't going to agree with. Hopefully you agree with one.
I'm the best. I don't fail shit, I don't rest. Or scoop a brick, I won't let you take a win, that's 2-0. Move slow when I combo, that's Dragon Link. Pass turn, no need to think. The world I'm in is virtual, where the sky's Ojama pink.